So good morning to everyone from east to west, and thank you for joining the Canadian Association of Neuroscience Nurses' very first entirely virtual conference, our 52nd annual meeting of members and scientific sessions. A few housekeeping items before we move into the sessions. So a reminder, as you've all noticed, that all sessions are being recorded so that they can be accessed at a later time and by those who aren't able to attend today. We ask that you keep your microphone muted for the duration of the presentations. Please feel free to use the chat box during any of the sessions going forward to ask questions or to add your comments. They will be monitored by the moderator. And lastly, please be patient. We've never held a conference like this before, and we are still learning. If you're struggling, please feel free to message any one of the planning committee directly, and we will do what we can to help. Before introducing our executive, I would like to acknowledge that in June, Canadians commemorate National Indigenous History Month, which recognizes the history, heritage, and diversity of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in Canada. Given the recent discoveries in Kamloops, British Columbia, and Williams Lake, Manitoba, I request that we all take a moment of personal reflection to acknowledge the hardship suffered by Indigenous people in our country. So we'll just take a moment to pause. Thank you, everyone. So I'd now like to introduce your CANN executive. So if your camera isn't already open, please open your camera when I call your name so that you can be seen. So Maxime Boutin-Caron, past president, living in Montreal. Can you give us a wave? Thank you. Suzanne Basiak, treasurer from Calgary. And Trudy Robertson, vice president secretary from Coquitlam, British Columbia. I would also like to give a special acknowledgement to Christiane Krassman, who's a communication and marketing representative, who is also an instrumental part of our planning committee. So I would like to express my extreme gratitude to these 4 members of the planning committee. Thank you so very much. As you can imagine, our team has been tirelessly working behind the scenes for the past 8 months to develop and coordinate an exciting lineup of speakers for you to enjoy. We've also learned how to better navigate a virtual conference landscape, something that was foreign to most of us when we started. We did all of this while managing the business of CANN and while dealing with our own personal matters, including redeployment and other pandemic pressures. So a huge thank you to Maxime, Suzanne, Trudy, and Christiane. It certainly is weird to clap on a Zoom call. Before we begin our sessions, I'm permitted as president to have the floor for my presidential address. I'm going to use this opportunity to tell you my story and why I became a neuroscience nurse and share my experiences in CANN as president. It actually happened quite accidentally. As a new grad, I was hired to a full-time position at the Ottawa Hospital. When I received the job offer, I had not yet been assigned a unit. Early in my nursing education, I had always seen myself going into either gynecology or obstetrics. I had wanted to be a midwife early in my schooling, but was sadly rejected during my university application process because, in the words of the acceptance officer, as a young, naive 19-year-old, I didn't have enough life experience to be in the program. Going through nursing school year by year, I came to realize that gynae and obstetrics didn't challenge me as much as I wanted it to. When looking for a job as a new grad, I was open to pretty much anything. I knew I didn't want to do that anymore. We didn't have any neuro rotations, so that field wasn't even on my radar. So I get offered a position at the Ottawa Hospital with this open-ended location to be determined. Weeks before I'm about to start, I'm informed I will be placed on F7. And F7, if you know, at the Ottawa Hospital is the neurosurgery ward. Of course, I'm a little worried. I'd never had any neurocompromised patients, never seen a crani zipper, never put in an NG tube or done trach care. My orientation was led by Lynn Joseph, who's on the call today, former CANN president, and someone I now consider both a mentor and a friend. Learning from her about the different types of brain tumors, the Asia scale, and all the complications nurses needed to be aware of with subarachnoid bleeds and pituitary adenomas, I was completely hooked. I'd never felt so challenged, all the while completely scared of this exciting new world. The more and more I gained experience, the greater my appetite was for learning about this specialty. My first CANN conference was in Ottawa in 2005. In 2006, I did my very first CANN presentation in Montreal. In 2010, I did my neuroscience certification, and in 2012, I joined the board as the Ontario East representative. I've never looked back, and I've always been blessed to feed my hunger for neuroscience nursing. Even now, working in the world of stroke, I feel even more empowered to further neuroscience nursing knowledge through research and quality improvement initiatives. These past 2 years as president of CANN have been unprecedented, to say the very least. The business of CANN was heavily influenced by the operations of the COVID-19 pandemic. Last year, with the mounting pressures and traveling restrictions, we were forced to do what had never been done before in the history of CANN and cancel our annual conference. I know that the annual conference has always been a wonderful opportunity for networking, learning, and social fun with neuronursing peers from across the country. So to have that taken away by no fault of our own was difficult, not just for the board, but for members in Canada. Since that time, the nursing profession has been challenged in a way like none other. I can't even begin to understand what you've all gone through over these past 2 years, because I know this pandemic has affected us all in different ways, whether it be redeployment, mounting work pressures, personal or family health issues, or general burnout and exhaustion. COVID-19 has left no nurse untouched by its effects. This in itself has had an impact on CANN operations. Luckily, and in a weird twisted way, CANN business was prepared to switch over to an entirely virtual format. Years before, in the interest of cost savings, we transitioned our CANN mid-year meetings to virtual platforms. We've been making good use of the Google platform and our website to share documents electronically and conduct business with the options that it provides. As many of you have noticed, even abstract submission was done exclusively on an online platform. Would you believe that when we explored video conference software in 2016 and 2017, that the Zoom platform was one of the worst ones out there? And now look at where we are. Many have also transitioned, we've also transitioned all of our social communications to an exclusively online format. Many of you are frequent contributors to the CANN Facebook page or using Twitter tags. I've also seen a lot of activity within the Whova platform, even just in these past 48 hours, such as icebreakers, picture sharing, which is incredible. And you can see there's a lot of friendship and memories that are being shared, even bringing up fond memories of conferences past. Our publication format has also switched over to a virtual format. And although we no longer have a CANN journal, the opportunities to promote and support publications from our members is endless in a digital world. This also includes offering up online webinars from local CANN experts. And in an online format, you can learn from anyone, anywhere. This pandemic has also encouraged CANN to rethink about how to keep members engaged and supported in a digital world. One of our very successful campaigns this year alone was the Humans of Neuro nominations. Some of you here are nominees or nominators to this initiative. It's great to see all the positivity that has been supported by the initiative, as well as the opportunity for recognition of our peers. We certainly all need a little bit of good news. This is a campaign I hope to see continue. So you're all encouraged to put forward names of colleagues deserving of recognition, even if that person is you. The nomination form is still active on the CANN website, so please check it out and put forth the name of a deserving neuro nurse. Understandably, this year has also been extremely challenging for nurses of all specialties and generations. CANN is looking to all of you to find ways to motivate and inspire neuro nurses across Canada and implement those strategies. If social media is the way, we're ready to be engaging. If it's something else, we want to know. I've always felt that in CANN, you get back what you're willing to give. Be willing to join, to participate, and to inspire nurses who share the same passion as you. In conclusion, CANN has blessed me with the privilege to not only gain new knowledge at every turn, but to allow me to explore my country and meet with nurses who share the same passion that I do. I have friends and colleagues all across Canada in all specialties of neuroscience nursing. If I ever have a question or want to work on a neuronursing initiative or just need a place to stay when I'm traveling, it's not hard to find someone I know through CANN in most Canadian cities. I've been a neuroscience nurse since the very onset of my nursing career. With this specialty, I found my passion, my purpose, and my people. It's been an honor and a privilege to be your representative as CANN president for the past 2 years. Thank you so very much for showing and sharing with me your passion for this specialty nursing science. In such, welcome to the conference, enjoy the sessions, and have fun with the online platform.